I'm Rachel from Cap and Cork, and I'm stepping up to the bar today with the crew at Hop River. All right, who all do we have here? Paris, let's start with you.
Sure, I'm Paris McFarthing. I am the president of Hop River Brewing Company.
Nice.
I'm MC Lowenstein. I'm the director of marketing here at Hop River.
And Lou Henry, I'm the director of sales and liquid marketing at Hop River.
And Lou's my guy, so, you know, he gets to deal with all of my shenanigans as well as the shenanigans of all of my managers. So if you see him out and about at our stores, be nice.
Please.
So I wanted to do an episode of Finishing School here just from the standpoint of looking at how you guys are pivoting and changing with the industry. So how do you as a team approach where you're going next with your beers?
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting one because I think the fun thing about beer is it can go so many different places. So the first thing you have to do is like bring down like all the shiny objects. But you know we like to kind of start with our core. Some of our core beers are just classic beers. When we think about a classic IPA, the Kolsch, and then we start to kind of go from there and really get creative. I think we all enjoy beer for different reasons. One of the big things we talk about is we talk about flavor notes, like what kind of flavors do we want, like whether it be malty or hoppy, and then just kind of directions from there. But then one of the big considerations now is just kind of like we talk a lot about like ABV or alcohol content. So people are wanting to enjoy those light, easier drinking beers. So it's through all of that, you can kind of create a profile of what's going to come up next.
And you even look at what we offer at CAP and what we carry and stuff and what people always ask for and what they go for. And they like those nice, easy drinkers. And then we always look at what's the next step. You know, where do you head with what your brewer, you know, directs you, and also how do you introduce it to the next generation or a new generation of drinker?
So in my experience with IPAs are 90% of the market in the craft beer industry. And if you look at somebody like 450 North or Bare Hands and even us with the purple can, which draws people's eyes, people have to, it's almost like hot sauces. People want to get your attention with the logo, with the art.
What's fun, what's showy.
And they're like, so that draws their eye first. It's just like a dinner plate, you know, you eat with your eyes. People, it draws their eye, it gets them to at least try it. And at least, and you know, we're at such a fair price point that, you know, people, I mean, that's why we've had our success. And as far as with the current state of the market, we've just purchased a canning line because the liquor store industry is up 600%.
Does that mean more beers available from Hop River at Cap and Cork?
Absolutely means that there's more beers available at Cap and Cork from Hop River.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of that is just kind of like the idea is you can get someone with artwork, you can get them to drink one beer. It's like, can you get them to drink the second and continue to buy it and just kind of and then reach that point where it's like that's my beer, like it's always there, like I'm gonna mix in new stuff. But so I mean we do that, but the other thing kind of with our beers that we try to do is that consistency. I know no brewery wants to make an inconsistent beer, but it says a lot when you get to a point that you can trust the brewery, not just the beer that they make. So, you know, I think we've built that, and now we're trying to really perpetuate that. So as we do new things that may be different than what we've done traditionally, or just kind of sometimes we just want to have fun.
And that's where you have this lovely venue to have your fun and pour it out for your great audience and your fans and followers. Like they love coming here not only for the culture you've built, but the beers that you pour.
Yeah, and I mean with Cap, and we're in that together because we've always said that it's circular. So yes, they may come here and get a beer, but when they're out and they're in your stores, we want them to recognize Hop River and then know that like, hey, I had a great experience with that. I want that one.
Yeah.
So
cool. Well, what are we drinking today?
So this is our Brightest Summer, which is a summer ale. It's just a real light, easy drinking ale. Real crisp, not overly bitter on the house, but it has a kind of a crisp, almost citrusy taste to it.
And this color cannot be beat.
Yeah, it's a great color. It feels like a warm summer day.
Perfect.
It's perfect patio drinking.
There you go.
It's what I would call my shifty when I come
yeah.
in, and
Hey,
that's
like,
my
this
first
is the
one to
one
go
that's
to.
going
Yeah,
on.
I mean it's one of the nice things is like it's not overbearing. Don't get me wrong. I love beers that like kind of have a ton of character and flavor to them. But the reality is like you're not gonna drink those all day. Like
That's an
sometimes
okay
you should.
summary
Yeah.
treat, you know,
Yeah,
and
maybe
that's
you
when
have
you're
one, yeah.
exploring and stepping outside of the box a little
Right.
bit. But you have to have those that you always return to, those that are like home.
When it's 85
Exactly.
degrees outside, it is wonderful to have this as a thirst quencher.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So what's next for Hot River?
A lot of it is just really focusing on here. I mean, I think we have a great team. I mean, a good majority of our team is not here, and I'd be remiss to not mention them
Right.
because all the people who buy our beer at your stores or come into the brewery, they know who those people are, and they're critical to that too because our experience, and really that's what we work to drive is that experience is at your store, at our brewery,
Absolutely.
service. That's really the thing we continue to build out because as we do more beers and as we get more creative and things kind of start to expand, we want people to continue to be excited with us because it really drives us to do new things. And a lot of the feedback we get, whether it be from our shared customers or customers at any point, just helps us really think about the next thing and continue forward.
So what can we do to sort of broaden everybody's palate? What can we do to encourage them to take that sip, even if it's their first IPA ever?
Well,
And have a pour.
this is what I do.
There you go.
I help provide a welcoming environment here at Hot River. So my goal is to draw people in that may not be a regular at any brewery, but they're coming for some sort of interest in their other, in their life, right?
Perfect.
So tonight we have Humane Fort Wayne coming in, doing an enrichment project.
Personal favorite?
Yeah, we have
They
the Fort
seem
Wayne
alright.
chapter for the Alzheimer's coming to enjoy the Humane Fort Wayne enrichment project and to gather as volunteers. So it's a really great way to come together as a community, try our beer, enjoy it, come back and remember that wonderful experience here at
And
Hot
I
River.
think you hit on it perfectly when you said community. So you're building a community not only based around this liquid gold, you're building a community around our stores, our venues, our
Right.
destination, and all the things that we can do collectively and collaboratively to give back.
Right. And my goal is that when you go to Captain Cork, you're going to look at these cans, remember your experience here at the patio,
It's going to
that
be
wonderful time you've
nostalgia
had,
by-
that you had with your family, with your friends, and take it home and continue creating those stories at home.
Absolutely.
Well, and even that, just kind of going back to kind of the community, right? And you're asked about that first sip. And one thing that I enjoy watching, and it's fun to see that like the people that work here are experts at this, but like when they ask, someone comes and say, "Oh, I don't know what I'd like. I don't know what I want, but I don't like IPAs or I don't like this," and then it's just kind of like a few questions, and then just see them turn around, it's like, "I got it. I'll be right back," and then bring them a sample, and then just see it the light bulb go off. It's
That
like,
is my favorite.
That's
yeah,
exactly.
it's like
That's my favorite.
Yeah, I'll take one of those.
Yeah.
But it says a lot that like being able to be in tune and just kind of know because your beer is like any other food or anything that is able to be enjoyed and you can describe. It's just there are things you like, there are things you don't like. But what's cool is like you can kind of build that picture and then you can invite someone in. It's like try this.
Well, and I think my favorite is when they take a sip of that Harrison Street Hefeweizen and they love it.
Love
You
it.
just see it. You see it in their eyes, and then you're like, "Do you like lemon?" And they're like, "Yes." And you add a little bit of lemonade, you make a rattler,
And you watch it,
and they
open up
enjoy it, and they come
blossom.
back for a second. And
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
"Yes."
I love it.
As working events, I've always realized, people come up and tell me they don't like beer that tastes like beer, which to the American vocabulary is your standard American, the Kings for the last 100 years.
Right.
Or they don't like anything too dark, or all these adjectives that don't really mean anything. They're arbitrary, because you
Right.
could have a Schwarzbier that's, you know, a black lager, or you could have a stout that give you completely different
Yeah.
experiences, or you could have an IPA, which is pale by nature, and that doesn't taste anything like your standard Budweiser. So
How do you handle those what do I want to say, restrictions that people place on you?
So typically when someone comes up to me and says, well, what do you have? And I respond back, what do you like? So if they're an American lager drinker, then obviously I usually open up with a Kolsch. My rule at festivals is usually something light, something dark, something hoppy, and then call it my favorite.
There you go.
And because a lot of people ask for, like,
What's yours?
what's your favorite? Oh, this is my favorite.
Yep.
So usually you can cover the entire spectrum of someone's flavor within those parameters. And sometimes you might take out your favorite and put in something hazy, because that's the market right now. If you have something hazy.
Yeah, it's knowing your audience and knowing what to offer up to them.
Well, and I love being able to push that boundary a little bit. Like, you like this flavor profile, or this is what you normally drink. Try this. We'll just edge it out a little bit, see what you think.
And it's
you
that
never
curiosity of like, you're always trying to cultivate that in somebody of like, if this is your safe zone line, I'm just gonna just like one toe across, and then how about if we go a little further, type of thing.
Right,
you know?
and that's what I love about having so many taps and having such a variety, because we can just sort of edge into different quadrants of those happy, multi,
and it's the
light,
flexibility of being a smaller brewery from that respect.
Well, and being able to have that one-on-one conversation, right?
Yeah.
Like having that personalized, unique experience.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that. I love it.
I think the key to that is, like, if you're open to an adventure, there's an adventure to be had. I mean, it's honest.
It's like adventure always awaits.
Yeah, because I mean, it's always interesting, because when we ask people what they like, they always leave with what they don't like. So you're always kind of battling that. But just like, if you're just open, if you tell me what you like, you may be I can surprise you.
Well, and not even what you like, but what was the last drink you enjoyed? Right?
Yep.
And I don't care if it's a cocktail.
It could be a cocktail.
I don't care if it's kombucha. Like, let me know. Let's talk about, was it ginger? Was it the lemon? Like, you know, what flavors can we pull out and enjoy in a different glass?
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for stepping up to the bar with us today. And cheers.
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 Follow all the fun we're having at Cap and Cork. You can sign up for our email newsletter at capandcork.com, or follow the shenanigans on social, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Cheers.
That's all this week from the Cap and Cork Studios. We'll keep you in good spirits, and you keep us in good company. We'll see you right back here next week.